to the spell backwards. That's my man right there. That's my goat right there. Let him out. He did nothing wrong. You don't even know if he did anything. Okay. We don't. Who has ever done a crime even? Honestly, what is a crime is a question we will be talking about later, because it seems Biden has not only read 100 Years of Palestine, War in Palestine, but he also seemingly has read Are Prisons Obsolete by Angela Davis, because he's Mr. No More Capital Punishment except for 3. So we're going to be talking about that later as well. Everyone is experimenting with these concepts lately, it seems. Like people in positions of power, Joseph Robinette Brandon actually offered clemency to 3 federal capital punishment, or not 3, sorry, 37 capital punishment cases, with the exception of 3. And we'll get to that in a little bit, obviously, but he made sure that they will serve prison sentences still, but they will actually not be going to get the death penalty. But let's continue.
How do you plead this indictment, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Damn! Look at the way he said that. That's right. If he was guilty, he would have said it. Also, why are there 4 cops behind him like this? Let me replay that. Let's replay that. Case closed.
In the first degree and other related charges. How do you plead this indictment, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Yeah, no, he's not guilty. He said it right there. Not guilty. Also, what has happened? Is this normal? Am I, maybe I'm not aware of this, but like, is this normal? Like, I feel like they're going to put the Hannibal Lecter thing on his head. You know what I mean? Like every single time I see this motherfucker, he is surrounded by cops. Like he is a super villain, dude. Why are there 4 cops on him? Like, do they think that he has do they think that he's just like a John Wick style guy? Like he's just going to use the pen to execute people in the courtroom? Like, what the fuck is going on? This man, he can turn everything in his vicinity into a weapon. There are CEOs in this room as well. If there is a CEO anywhere near him, he will kill them. Like, I don't understand. Like, actually. What do you think about his lawyers? With lawyers, with defense attorneys, the bigger the piece of shit they are, the better it is. And through transitive property, like her husband is Diddy's lawyer. So automatically I assume that this is a family of like piece of shit defense attorneys. So I'm always on board. You know what I mean? For defense, you have to be a scumbag. Okay. For defense, you have to be a scumbag. And I think like, considering that her husband is literally Diddy's lawyer, I would assume that they're, I would assume that she's also a scumbag too. So that's a good thing. It's a benefit. Isn't the judge's husband a former Pfizer executive? Yeah. I have heard that the judge is presiding over the Luigi Mangione case is married to a former Pfizer executive. More about the judge here. It is a unique situation. In this case, the prosecutors might be bigger scumbags. Yeah, but Alvin Bragg is an incompetent scumbag, it seems. So, we'll see what happens. But you really do want a defense attorney to be a piece of shit, like a real slime bag. You know what I mean? You want that. Like, get him off on technicalities, whatever it takes. You know what I mean?
Your Honor, we have a copy of the indictment, notice of immigration consequences, as well as rap sheet. I believe the court has it. We give the court an extra copy and one to counsel. Does the court wish that we be heard with respect to bail?
Well, what is the situation?
There's also some good points that Luigi's lawyer brought up as well, the defense attorney on this case, like in terms of all of these like extraneous circumstances, like the fucking mayor of New York using the perp walk as a political opportunity to basically fucking declare him a terrorist before the trial is over. Like, it's crazy. So anyway, we'll see.
As we understand that we have primary jurisdiction, and we have been informed by the U.S. Attorney that they intend on allowing us to try our case first. So with respect to whatever goes on there, as the party with primary jurisdiction, the trial and the sentencing will take place here prior to anything that takes place in the federal system.
Yeah, the burden of proof is also on the prosecution? Prosecution, you mean? You fucking could not type that at all, UB. The burden of proof? She said pardon. She said prosecution. The burden of proof is also on the prosecution. God damn. Rather than the defense, the prosecution has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he did the crime, and all the media has been doing is working to undermine that. Yeah. They're basically setting it up so that like everyone that's in that fucking jury already has a well-established bias against our boy Luigi Mangione, which will already happen. Okay? That bias is already baked in because he's Italian, and we all know Italians are not white. Okay? You're supposed to be judged by a jury of your peers, okay? And Luigi Mangione stands alone in American society, peerless. Who amongst us, mere mortals, could ever actually match up and be a peer to the likes of Luigi Mangione?
What you just said, the answer is it's fine if we take custody today.
That I'm not sure of, because Your Honor signed a writ in which it says that we're going to return the defendant to federal custody. So I think that would be step two. I do think that logically, as the party with primary jurisdiction, the custody should be here. But I asked the court, in light of the court signing the writ indicating that we would return him to federal custody, that be done at a later time.
Well, I've been through this before. And if you do that, they will rid him right out of here. So don't think I'm going to do that. But if you work it out with him, that we will take custody rather than us bringing him back for any proceedings, that would be great.
We will make every effort to accomplish that, Your Honor.
I'm not gonna lie, even this many cops on a person who's like not a risk to literally anyone is already massaging public sentiment in general. Because it's like you're making it seem as though he is this like devastating serial killer. You know what I mean? Like this motherfucker killed one CEO allegedly. We don't even know, okay? We don't even know if he did it. We don't even know if he's guilty. But like even then, I understand why you would have this many cops on like, I don't know, like a incredibly violent serial killer or some shit, right? Like I get it. Sometimes you're worried that like especially if you have like a sociopathic, bloodthirsty criminal or whatever, you might need to do that in an effort to make sure that they can be apprehended if they step out of line or if they fucking do something crazy or whatever. But like this is not the case. Like you can't do that. And I feel like the defense is already heightening that juxtaposition, heightening that contradiction here by putting him in a fucking nice little merino wool sweater with a shirt underneath it. You know what I mean? Like he's just like a handsome young white boy. So you can't really do that. Like, it would be much harder. It would be much harder to play to the crowd and showcase that this is a bright-eyed young boy with his future ahead of him. If there's like pre-existing biases, but you can't really do that for him. He's just a chill guy, you know? He looks like just a chill guy.
Yeah.
If there's a period where there changes, there should be some mechanism that you put on here,
Absolutely.
and then you can do that. All right, is there any further?
Yes, Your Honor. We'd like to make a record, if that's okay with Your Honor. First, we'd request immediate, expedited discovery in this case. The people have had this case for about almost 3 weeks, and that's more than enough time to gather as much information as they can give to us, especially now that we have two proceedings that we have to answer to, one of them being death eligible. So we are requesting that we get immediate discovery of the New York City Police Department and FBI and federal and state documents. And the second thing I want to make a record of, Your Honor, is I'm very concerned about my client's right to a fair trial in this case. He's being prejudiced by some statements that are being made by government officials. Like every other defendant, he is entitled to a presumption of innocence. But unfortunately, the way this has been handled so far, his rights are being violated. And as you know, Your Honor, there's a wealth of case law guaranteeing his right to a fair trial, but none of the safeguards have been put in place yet here. In fact, it's just the opposite of what's been happening. He's a young man, and he is being treated like a human ping pong ball between two warring jurisdictions here. These federal and state prosecutors are coordinating with one another, but at the expense of him. They have conflicting theories in their indictments, and they're literally treating him like he.
Cook them. I didn't miss it at all. She's right. They are massaging the public's opinion on her client. This dog and pony show cannot go on. Every goddamn American has a right to a fair and free trial in this fucking country. Okay? Let him go. Let him go. Mistrial. I'm calling it. I am declaring it a mistrial right now. This is a kangaroo court. Do you think Lola will come on to discuss this? Don't worry. I have the People's Defense Attorney on the line. Well, not today, but maybe soon. Who knows? Maybe someone will actually participate in socialismus, as a matter of fact. Who knows? We'll see. A Jewish man and a Muslim man doing socialismus for all you Christians. What's up? Oh, you want to order food? Okay. No. The only update is
is like some sort of political fodder, like some sort of spectacle.
This is disgusting. The cop right above Luigi looks like Girthmaster. You are sick. You are sick of the mind. You have a sick soul, chatter. You understand me? Your soul is corrupted. You have a corrupted soul.
He was on display for everyone to see in the biggest staged perp walk I've ever seen in my career. It was absolutely unnecessary. He's been cooperative with law enforcement. He had been in custody for over a week. He waived extradition. He was cooperative at all accounts. There was no reason for the NYPD and everybody to have these big assault rifles that, frankly, I had no idea it was in their arsenal. And to have all of these, the press there, the media there, it was like perfectly choreographed. And what was the New York City mayor doing at this press conference, Your Honor? That just made it utterly political. And as Your Honor knows,
what's ironic, of course, is that like the New York City mayor already guilty. Okay, the New York City mayor. I mean, actually, I don't know. Did his trial go through already? No. he didn't undergo. Wait, did his trial end up already? He has a federal investigation launched against him. He's still being, I think he's indicted. He was already indicted. Luigi Mangione hasn't even been indicted yet at that point. He hasn't even fucking pled not guilty. He's indicted, trial in April. Okay, here. Oh.
Under Lauro v. Charles, the Court of Appeals for the Second.
And he is dead to rights. He is guilty. He is guilty as fuck. Okay, I'll say it. He's guilty. Luigi, we don't know. We don't know if he is.
Circuit has held it to be clearly established that the staged perp walks to the media, unrelated to a legitimate law enforcement objective, is unconstitutional. And I submit there was zero law enforcement objective to do that sort of perp walk. There's absolutely no need for that whatsoever. And frankly, Your Honor, the mayor should know more than anyone of the presumption of innocence that he too is afforded.
Call him. Call him out. Call him out. Call his criminal ass out.
Own issues, and frankly, I submit that he was just trying to detract from those issues by making a spectacle of Mr. Mangione, and there are consequences to this. He has a right to a fair trial, and I just want to put on the record statements that the mayor made publicly about my client. Nothing saying alleged, for example, and he said, I wanted to send a strong message with the police commissioner that we're leading from the front. I'm not going to just allow him to come into our city. I wanted to look him in the eye and state, you carried out this terrorist act in my city, the city of New York that I love. And he wanted to show symbolism. Your Honor, he's not a symbol. He's somebody who is afforded the right to a fair trial. He's innocent until proven guilty. And the mayor was talking to jurors, future potential jurors that elected him. Those are the people that elected.
Yeah. Also, even the cops behind him are maintaining this charade. The notion that he is like a extra scary criminal. I'm willing to bet they're going to fucking not even let him wear like casual clothes later down the line too, once he's like in prison. I don't know how it works behind the scenes in New York though. Like, I don't know if there are rules and restrictions and regulations around it, but I do think that Luigi Mangione's judge being married to a former healthcare executive kind of fucking creates some semblance of a conflict of interest. Like, obviously judges themselves can still be impartial in this circumstance, but I don't know. But yeah, the judge in the Luigi Mangione case is married to a former healthcare executive. Pretrial judge in the case involving the murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson owns millions in stock, including pharma and healthcare. Magistrate Judge Catherine H. Parker, who's overseeing the pretrial hearings for Luigi Mangione, is married to a former Pfizer executive and holds hundreds of thousands of dollars in stock, including in healthcare companies and pharmaceutical companies, according to her 2023 financial disclosures. The judge's ties to the healthcare business are a stark reminder of how pervasive the for-profit industry is in American life, a point made by Mangione himself. Parker's husband, Brett Parker, left Pfizer in 2010, where he served as a vice president and assistant general counsel after holding the same titles at Wyeth, a pharmaceutical manufacturer purchased by Pfizer. According to Parker's disclosures, her husband Brett still collects a pension from his time at Pfizer in the form of a Senior Executive Retirement Plan, or SERP. Now, this is just a pretrial judge, but even then, I declare mistrial over conflict of interest. This is a mockery of our wonderful legal institutions. The judge must recuse herself. What? Isn't this the same as Trump saying, lol, my judge's daughter runs DNC, is a conflict of interest or whatever? Yes, but I'll allow it because I like Luigi Mangione. Also, I don't think Trump's judge's daughter ran the DNC. I don't know what level of involvement. I think it was more so that they had like donated to the Democrats or something. What was it? Like, it's a little bit different when you're directly married to someone who is a pharmaceutical executive, when the trial that you're adjudicating would be over the execution of a pharmaceutical executive. In all seriousness, the fact that there's no good mechanism for dealing with judicial conflicts of interest and disclosures is such a core failing of the supposedly great system. Like, here, Trump has done this a lot. Trump once, for example, here, I'll give you an example of Trump that was like completely inappropriate and ridiculous and also very racist. Trump claimed that a judge could not properly adjudicate his court case because he was of Mexican descent. Okay? Like, there was a American judge overseeing one of his court cases, and Trump straight up said, well, he's Mexican, so he can't be impartial because he has Mexican heritage. Like, that is just pure ridiculous racism. Okay? You can't do that. You can't just be like, excuse me, I'm a racist and my judge can't be a black person, right? That would be fucking ridiculous. But in a situation where like you have a direct conflict of interest because you have like either a financial tie to the industry and this person is like, you know, like you can do that. He did it. I'm saying that that was a ridiculously racist demand. That is regardless, it is a ridiculously, that's just pure racism. That's all that is. Like, there's no other way that you can deal with that.
Him that he is talking to and calling this man a terrorist. So, Your Honor, I just want to make a record of this and put everyone on notice that this has to stop. And my client is entitled to a fair trial and the presumption of innocence. And we're going to fight these charges, whether it's in the state or federal, to the fullest extent. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Well, as you know, I have very little control of what happens outside of this court. But I can guarantee you, as I guarantee every defendant who comes through these doors, that the defendant will receive a fair trial. And we will carefully select a jury if that time comes or when that time comes. But yes, we should expedite discovery.
Your Honor, the discovery in this case is voluminous, to say the least. I have never seen a case.
Oh, shut up, voluminous. Okay. Oh, we got a lot of evidence. Oh, volumes of evidence. No, you don't. Shut up, bozo. You don't got no evidence, okay? You don't got no fucking evidence. Free my man.
Case with such volume of evidence, aside from the issue of the quality of the evidence. And I suggest to counsel, because we have a discovery portal, but given how much evidence there is against this defendant, it would be smarter if counsel could provide us with a 2 terabyte external drive rather than rely on the crashing of the portal. With respect to statement and identification notice, we will be giving that notice within the next 15 days. We're preparing an ADF. We'll do our best to expedite discovery, but I'll say that
as someone who knows and has worked with Brett closely over several years and has occasionally interacted with Catherine on small scale things, her presiding over the pretrial hearings is not great. They both have tremendous influence and reach in New York legal community. Damn. Well, it's just a pretrial judge. They have a lot of security camera footage of the guy who actually did it, Mario. Yeah, you have a lot of security camera footage, but you don't know if it's him. You don't know if it's him. You can't tie it back to him. New York City. is the New York of America. Lots of people. Concrete jungle, where dreams are made of. Okay? There's nothing you can't do. That's all I'm going to say. That means that Luigi Mangione could have randomly walked past that area. Okay? Many people do. Okay? Millions of people walk past that crowded area. So it's really messed up that they just think that, this ties them back in some way to the scene of the crime. I'm just saying. Yeah, this was really funny as well. I thought this was a hilarious way to fucking counter the narratives. Okay.
With redactions and with the volume of it, we're hoping to do it as best we can under, this is not a usual case in terms of the thousands of hours of video tracking and the like, and the fact that we're not only responsible for discovery in this county, but in Altoona, where the arrest was made and where several officers were involved. And we're in touch with those people, and we're going to get everything counsel's entitled to. As to other issues, I think a 30-day adjournment to see where we're at, and to, of course, counsel's aware of the various notices. We have notices as well. I take it that counsel will abide by the statutory limitations on their notices with respect to any notices they believe to be appropriate. As to counsel's record on the mayor, basically repeating what the mayor said, I don't know how that advances the ball. We will comply with our ethical obligations with respect to trying this defendant's guilt in this courtroom and this courtroom alone. Thank you.
All right, so
What the fuck? What the fuck happened? What is happening? Bro, this motherfucker's mewing all the time, by the way. That's crazy.